Hello, Serge here from the Backyard Driving Range. Okay, today I have a letter that came in from Russ Stanley, and Russ says, I stumbled upon your videos about a year ago. I was fighting nasty hooks and hangers that I fought for years. Thanks to you, I realized I was too inside out. I've watched a million tips from all of the top instructors with no results. Last week I played a round in which my swing, your swing in parentheses, held together for the full 18 holes. It was an absolute thing of beauty. I was able to do whatever I wanted with the ball. I made 2 bad swings in a whole round. Simply amazing. Thank you. Okay, so the big here is we're talking about swinging inside out, nasty hooks. All right, so to talk about this, I have to go into the bag and pull out the big A sticks alignment. Okay, so we're going to make the alignment arrows here. Make the H. As you know, alignment I really think is absolutely one of the most critical parts of making a good golf swing, because the ball goes where the body's aimed, and if the body's not aimed correctly to hit it to the target, then you have to make it. The brain will start making adjustments to try to get the club square to target and go there and hit the ball towards it. All right. I'm not going to talk about making the H in this. I just want to talk about path. Okay. So I'm going to try to aim this line right here, which will be the ball line at the target. So I'm going to check it out. And right now, this thing should be zeroed in dead on it. Now sometimes the lens can distort things, but this aiming line is zeroed in right on it. So what Russ was talking about was, many people feel that when the ball is here, you want to hit. Many people say, take a golf ball, and if you put it into quadrants over here, and you had 4 quadrants, you want to hit it on this inside quadrant. So in other words, if this is 12 o'clock and this is 6 o'clock down the bottom here, where my thumb is here at 6 and my index finger's at 12, and I made 4 quadrants here, you want to hit it here about 7 o'clock and swing it out towards 1 o'clock, and that's going to help you hit the ball. It sure will, as Russ just told you, because the definition of impact, which was figured out by Dr. Alistair Cochran and published in a book that he got published in 1962 called The Search for the Perfect Golf Swing. The Royal Society of Golf in Great Britain asked Dr. Alistair Cochran to study the golf swing and determine kind of a whole bunch of basics that we need to do, because they were concerned about, you can line up 10, 20, 50 golf pros and throw one question out there, and you'll get probably as many answers as you got pros there. And they said there's got to be a better way, a more consistent way, and they realized that physics had something to do with it, because Dr. Alistair was an engineer and I think a physicist or something. But he had a bunch of he was a really smart engineer. So on the first page of the first chapter, at the top of the page, on the right-hand column, the title of the paragraph is What Happens to Hit a Good Golf Shot? First sentence, a good golf shot is a relatively straight shot. A good golf shot is a relatively straight shot. All right? Most people say that's the hardest shot in golf to hit. What I'll tell you is, I think it's the easiest shot to hit. You get the peak performance swing down, you'll be hitting the ball like bullets. All right? The reason why they can't hit it straight is because most people have, to this day, a lot of people, and most really, are still trying to hit that inside quadrant and swinging out from 7 o'clock to 1 o'clock. All right? You got to go from 6 o'clock to 12 o'clock. On, square and solid. Because Alistair Cochran said that the club, he created 4 reasons how you hit that relatively straight shot. He said, the club has to approach the ball on the aiming line, strike it on the line and be square to it, swing on the line accelerating, and hit the ball solid in a sweet spot while doing the first 3. That's what I call on, square and solid. So what Russ finally figured out was, when he stopped trying to swing inside out, which meant the club was coming too much from in here at impact, and at the last second they had to do a little bit of that, so to speak, what we might call flipping the club more, to try to get it, instead of starting way out there or starting out there and coming back here. It's a fine line between starting it a little right and then how much the flip is going to put that, so to speak, cover the ball and give it too much spin and take it from a little right to way left. And then after you've hit a couple too far left, then you hold on that a little bit more, and then there's a good chance your ball starts right and then goes right, and everything in between. So on, square and solid. Now, some people say, well, you got to be on about a foot behind the ball and a foot through. On, square and solid. Dr. Alister Cochran said in that couple paragraphs after that, the ball is on the club 1/2 of 1,000th of a second. That's 0.0005, or about no more than about a half an inch of movement. So basically, once the club hits the ball, by the time the club, if it's an iron, is getting into the ground, and if it's a driver, it's 1/2 of 1,000th of a second, that ball is gone. So it's amazing how much damage we can do in terms of ball direction and ball flight in 1/2 of 1,000th of a second. So on, and on is only basically right at the ball and for immediately just after it. So again, it's not a whole lot that you have to do. You just got to be there. And a peak performance swing where we hold the knees, the wide knees out with pressure, swing it straight up the mitt, straight up the mitten in the tree, straight down the impact and into the forward mitten up the tree. We're controlling our rotations, and being parallel left, your on, and on will be right at the right time, because God created our arms that they always cross at 12, and that means that if you cross at 12 and 6, your hands clap, your hands are square, club face is square. They're guaranteed by God's design of our arms and the ball and socket joint to be square at impact every time, guaranteed, if you do one thing, and that's swing the club vertical on both sides of the ball. Okay? So, Russ figured it out, did it, played great. It happens that fast, just like he said. On, square and solid is the only way to play golf. Because when you hit it more solid and straight is great, you'll be shooting those lower scores. That's it from the Surge for today, from the Backyard Driving Range, and I'll be speaking with you all again soon.